Before we begin, subscribe to CBR and ring that bell to join our notification squad so you never miss a video. Without further ado, here are some of the most OP Pokemon that make Charizard look like a weakling. Arceus. Arceus is a normal type mythical Pokemon introduced in Generation 4, but this genderless Pokemon is anything but normal. Arceus is said to have created the Sinnoh and Ronse regions as well as the Lake Guardians. In fact, it's possible that Arceus created the entire Pokemon world. It came before every single Pokemon and is the oldest one in existence. It's literally the god of the Pokemon universe, so there can't even be a Pokemon more powerful than it. Well, statistically, there are better Pokemon in the video games, but none can say they created everything. Supposedly, Arceus emerged from an egg when there was nothing and shaped the world. It shaped the world with its 1,000 arms, but we don't know exactly where they came from. We see 4 legs, but not 1,000 arms. We guess it's a metaphor of some kind, or it was just born as a disgusting monster with 1,000 arms. Many Pokédex entries also support the idea that Arceus came before the universe and created everything himself. If this is all true, then why does it join your party in the video games? We know the only way Arceus could legitimately join your team is through a 2010 event, but still it makes no sense. Mewtwo. Mewtwo is Pokemon number 150, introduced in Generation 1. Everyone knows about Mewtwo because of its origin story and how cool it looks. It's very unique compared to most legendary and mythical Pokemon. As you already know, Mewtwo is a psychic-type legendary Pokemon who was created by science. According to the logs found in the Pokemon Mansion on Cinnabar Island, Mewtwo was born from a pregnant Mew in the jungles of Guyana, which is a real place. Anyway, Mr. Fuji must have been trying to study Mew at the time and get a hold of the embryo. He tampered with it and altered its DNA. Then Mr. Fuji performed inhumane gene splicing procedures on the Pokemon, which made Mewtwo extremely vicious and powerful. It eventually broke free from the lab and fled to Cerulean Cave, where it could be captured by the player once he defeats the Elite Four and their champion. Mewtwo has been through a lot, and while it looks a lot like Mew, they're much different in size and stature. Mewtwo was created for battling, which may be why it hides in a cave the whole time. It's doing it for the sake of the people inhabiting the Pokemon world, not because it wants to. Now that's a role model in the Pokemon world. It's ruining its life to better that of others. Lugia. When it comes to powerful flying-type Pokemon, Lugia may be the strongest there is. Lugia is a psychic and flying-type legendary Pokemon from Generation 2, who was the mascot of Pokemon Silver. It's a part of the Tower Duo along with Pokemon Gold's mascot, Ho-Oh. Lugia is the master of the 3 legendary birds from Generation 1, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. It's able to calm down these birds who are constantly looking for a fight. Their respect of Lugia must mean that it's stronger than all 3 of them. Like a lot of legendary birds, Lugia is capable of controlling the weather in some capacity. A light flap of Lugia's wings generates hurricane-force winds strong enough to tear down cliffs. If Lugia wanted to, it could flap its wings to create a tropical storm lasting up to 40 days. To top it all off, like most psychic-type Pokemon, Lugia is extremely intelligent. It's smart enough to realize that it has the power to destroy an entire region, so it mainly flies over large, uninhabited bodies of water. It's one of the rarest Pokemon to encounter since it sleeps in a deep-sea trench and is, in a sense, afraid of its own power. Some call Lugia the guardian of the sea, and it's rumored to be seen on the night a storm begins. Entei. Entei is a fire-type legendary Pokemon introduced in Generation 2. Entei is actually said to represent the flames from the Brass Tower. That's both dark and epic at the same time. Entei is a very fast Pokemon with incredible power. It's said that an Entei is born whenever a new volcano has its first eruption. If this is true, then there could have been a whole pack of them at one point. How scary is that? To further strengthen the link between Entei and volcanic activity, it's said that every time Entei barks, a volcano somewhere in the world erupts. Think about that for a second. With a few quick barks, Entei has the power to make volcanoes erupt, and there were supposedly multiple Enteis in the world at one time. And every time a new volcano erupts, an Entei is born. That makes it one of the strongest Pokemon in the franchise, especially in a group. Entei is known for wasting its energy by running through grasslands at incredible speeds. This helps keep the Pokemon quiet and at ease so it doesn't make any volcanoes erupt. Not much else is known about the Pokemon, but it could easily destroy Charizard. Rayquaza. Rayquaza is a dragon and flying-type legendary Pokemon introduced in Generation 3 and is a member of the Weather Trio. It's the game mascot of Pokemon Emerald and an important piece in the conflict between Kyogre and Groudon. The fact that it's even able to keep those legendary Pokemon at bay is a good indication of just how OP Rayquaza really is. Rayquaza has an organ inside it that contains the same power as a Mega Stone, which is used to make a Pokemon Mega Evolve. And if you've seen Rayquaza's Mega Evolution, it looks awesome. By consuming meteorites in the sky, which isn't the most popular snack we could think of, the organ could be filled with enough energy to allow Rayquaza to Mega Evolve. That sounds weird, but Rayquaza is known for living in the Earth's ozone layer for hundreds of millions of years, and for feeding on water and particles in the sky. Rayquaza's unknown to most people in the Pokemon world, because it's always flying above the clouds too high to be seen by the naked eye. Even if you would see it in the air, it looks like a meteor when flying. Rayquaza only descends from the sky if Kyogre and Groudon were to get in a fight, which doesn't happen very often. Giratina. Giratina is a ghost and dragon-type legendary Pokemon from Generation 4. Giratina represents antimatter and lives in the Distortion World, which is an alternate dimension in Pokemon Platinum. Right away, looking at Giratina just gives you the chills. It's a six-legged dragon with ghost wings that somehow have spikes on them. Talk about unnerving. We would run away if we even saw a puny bug look like this thing. Giratina is able to control and pass through dimensions other than space and time, which give it the ability to leave the Pokemon world anytime and go back to its home in the Distortion World. Legends claim that the Distortion World is the exact opposite of the regular world, which makes you think of it as Pokemon Hell. Could Giratina be the Satan of the Pokemon world? We all know about how strong that creature is in real-life legends, so the Pokemon equivalent could be just as bad. Supposedly, Giratina was banished from the real world due to its obsession with violence and chaos. Sounds like the devil to us, and a Pokemon that would make Charizard look weak as hell. Palkia. Palkia is a water and dragon-type legendary Pokemon introduced in Generation 4. As you've seen in Avengers Infinity War, anyone or anything that has control over space itself is an incredibly powerful being. That's no different in the Pokemon world with Palkia. Palkia is able to warp space and create alternate realities. In fact, Palkia created an alternate reality for it to live in, which makes it incredibly hard for anyone to study the Pokemon. Palkia is often getting into battles with its fellow legendary Pokemon Dialga, making space and time wage war against each other. Palkia is very territorial over the alternate dimension it calls home, so it might be protecting it against Dialga. It's said that space becomes more stable with each of Palkia's breaths, which makes us curious as to what would happen to space if something were to happen to it. Maybe that's how the Pokemon world would end, but we doubt it'll happen since we've never really seen any legendary Pokemon die for good. The legendary beasts got resurrected, but that's about it. If Palkia controls space, then it could probably create black holes capable of sucking up everything in its path, including entire planets. So this isn't a Pokemon you want to mess with. Dialga. If you haven't noticed by now, the creation trio is quite powerful. We've covered Giratina and Palkia, but now it's time to get into Dialga. Dialga is a steel and dragon-type legendary Pokemon from Generation 4, and in our opinion, is the coolest looking Pokemon out of the creation trio. It represents time, and is capable of doing some incredible things. Think of it as the Doctor Strange of the Pokemon universe, capable of using its powers to speed up, slow down, and stop time altogether. Not only can Dialga effortlessly change the flow of time, it could travel to both the past and the future, allowing it to seemingly know about everyone and everything. Similarly to Palkia, Dialga lives in its own dimension and is constantly at odds with its legendary counterpart. Maybe this is a war for territory with Dialga and Palkia each trying to move on each other's dimensions of space and time. That would be pretty awesome to see. Time seems to flow every time Dialga's heart beats. The creation trio are the most important legendary Pokemon. Without them, nothing would exist. Oh yeah, and Dialga would totally whoop Charizard's ass. Kyurem. Kyurem is a dragon and ice-type legendary Pokemon introduced in Generation 5 who's able to change forms in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. In these games, with the help of DNA splicers, the same thing that turned Mewtwo into a violent maniac, you could fuse Kyurem with Reshiram or Zekrom. Yes, a white Pokemon is the game mascot of Pokemon Black, and a black Pokemon is the game mascot of Pokemon White. I am confusion. America, explain. Kyurem generates a powerful freezing energy inside itself, and when it leaked out, it froze the Pokemon and turned it into a dragon and ice type. Kyurem is capable of producing ultra-cold air strong enough to freeze almost anything. In the Pokemon X and Omega Ruby Pokedex entries, the Pokemon is waiting for a hero to fill the missing parts of its body with truth or ideals. We guess that's code for fusing it with an even stronger legendary Pokemon. Ditto. Yep, after going over 9 incredibly powerful Pokemon who are so strong they make Charizard look like an absolute chump, the final Pokemon on this list is Ditto, the normal type Pokemon introduced in Generation 1. In its normal form, Ditto is a complete joke, but it has an incredible power up its sleeve. It can transform into any Pokemon it faces off against. That alone should be enough to scare anyone and anything away. The funny thing about Ditto is that you can knock it out of its transformed state by simply making it laugh. Ditto could transform into anything at any time using memory, but it might mess up a few details if the Pokemon they're trying to copy isn't right in front of them. Here's a scenario. Imagine Arceus squaring off against Ditto, and Ditto transforms into him. Sure, it'll be a weird pink Arceus, but that's still Arceus. Ditto copies the moves, stats, and look of his opponents, but the only thing that doesn't change is its HP. It could act exactly like Arceus does, but if the real Arceus lands a single blow on the transformed Pokemon, Ditto will be down and out. Technically, this means that Ditto can be just as strong as any Pokemon in existence. He's just not able to take as much punishment as them. There you have it. Are there any Pokemon we may have missed? What's your favorite Pokemon? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.